Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. If you want to see this full face, go ahead and check out my previous video using all Rimmel London products. Now, let's go ahead and wash this makeup off and put on a brand new face. Hello, we are back again. It's another new day and I am very excited for us to dive into this next brand new face. Now, this is similar to the last video, a brand that people are probably very familiar with. It is at Targets and Walmarts and drugstores and even dollar stores too, which is super exciting. So I'm very happy that this brand is in this affordable price range. And I also want to say that one of these items, I'm not going to say which one yet, is not a new item to me. One of these items is an item that I've had already in my collection. So other than that one item, all of the other items here are going to be brand new products opening directly from the box like we usually do. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get started and tell you what the brand is. I should probably let you guys know what the brand is if you haven't figured that out already. This brand is Wet n Wild. Yes, I'm very excited about this. A lot of very exciting products here in front of me. And we have a full face. The only thing that I could not get my hands on, which it is an item that they do have, was a brow gel. We do have a brow pencil, so we will be filling those in. We just won't be able to set them down with a brow gel. And again, it does exist. I just could not get it. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're gonna do what we usually do and start out with the eyes. So the first item we're gonna get into is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. And I got the shade Fair Beige. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Okay, we've got it opened up. And here's what that looks like. Very standard doe foot applicator. And let's go ahead and apply this to our eyes. I am going to be using a sponge today. We'll dab that on. All right, that is applied. Now looking at it here, I think that applied down really nicely. I don't think it has like an extreme like full coverage. It almost looks invisible. So yeah, I think that laid down just fine. So I think that will be a pretty good base for our eyeshadows. So let's go ahead and get that opened up then. The eyeshadow is the Wet n Wild Color Icon My Glamorous Squad. And they call it like their 10 piece palette. And I got, yeah, the My Glamorous Squad one. So that's what that looks like. Let's go ahead and open that one up. So here's what it looks like opened up. It has three like very like noticeable shimmers. That guy is also slightly shimmery there. They have two shades here that they call the transition shades, and then four additional mattes. So 4 shimmers, 4 mattes, and then 2 additional matte transitions there. I'm very excited. This gold, I'm very like, ooh, really looking to possibly use that one. So here's what those look like. Let's go ahead and just start by using this suggested transition shade down here and apply that to the eye using the Morphe M433 brush. Okay, that transition shade is applied. That went on beautifully. Right away, like you dip in, tap off a little bit of excess, and it gives you such a beautiful color payoff there. So I'm very excited about that. It blended on the eye here so smoothly. So that's super duper exciting. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same brush, and I think I'm going to go into this shade right here, just a little bit darker, and do what we usually do and just kind of deepen things up just a little bit. All right, that is applied. Again, that applied super nicely. You can see that we've intensified things here a little bit. The two of them, they blended so nicely together. We will clean up the edges here a little bit, but I'm liking this start off for the eye look. So that's awesome. That is super exciting. Now, what do I want to do next? I'm not sure. I don't know if I just want to dive into this gold here right away and get that on my eye. I also really like that color too. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I know what to do. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to set this brush down. I'm going to take a clean brush real quick and just soften everything. Not that guy. Not that one. There we go. Taking a M441 Morphe brush and just quickly going over the edges just to soften everything a little bit. Okay, and then let's go ahead and test this shimmer out with a brush. Let's go ahead and use, yeah, I believe this is an e.l.f. brush. So let's go ahead and pack in on that shimmer. This is going to be the main color on our eye. Okay, so that applied pretty nicely. I do think I want to try and spray it down and see if we can intensify that shimmer a little bit more. So let's go ahead and introduce the setting spray. So the setting spray is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Finny Natural setting spray. So let's open this guy up. All right, let's just give her a test spray. Okay. And let's wet down our brush. Okay, we've got that gold applied. I love this color. This is beautiful. Using the setting spray, like usual, definitely does help kind of intensify that color a little bit more and help really pack it down on the eye here a little bit better. We could have also used our finger, but I thought I'd go in with a brush today. Yeah, I'm liking this so far. I'm excited with the direction that this eye look is going. Now what I want to do is I think I'm gonna go back. We're gonna set this guy down, and I want to take a slightly smaller brush here. Let's use Morphe M506, and I want to go into this color here just to deepen up the outer part of the eye here a little bit. And then we're gonna go back into the original brush we used, the M433. I'm not even gonna dip anything in. I just wanna make sure that everything is nice and blended with all of those colors. Awesome. So then next, what I want to do is, I think I'm not done with the eye look yet, but I want to just kind of clean up the edges quick with a light so I can kind of see the shape that I want. All right, and then I want to find another brush. Usually I don't use this many brushes, but I got excited. Let's go ahead and let's use this guy, a ColourPop E20. And I want to go into this shade right here. And we have a liner, but I kind of want to give a liner effect here and just see how well that'll work. So I'm going to put that all against the line here and maybe pull it out a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm coming close so you can see how this is looking so far. It's a little sloppy again here, so I'll clean that up again, but that was a lot of fun. I'm loving how all of these colors are looking so far. Once we've got some liner and a bottom lash line to this, I think this is gonna look so good. But we just kind of use that deeper burgundy kind of red shade there, kind of as like a soft liner, and kind of pulled it out there a little bit. So yeah, that's how the top is looking so far. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up again here one more time, and then we will dive into the eyeliner. All right, and for eyeliner, we have the Wet n Wild Pro Line Felt Tip Eyeliner Crayon. Looks like this. It looks like a lot smaller of a pencil crayon liner than I'm used to. What was the cost on this guy? Around $4, so I mean, definitely affordable, so I don't think that's too much of an issue so far. So let's get this pulled out. All right, here's what that looks like. All right, so it is a thicker felt tip liner. Let's go ahead and let's test it out here. Ooh, very black. Super black. Okay, let's go ahead and apply this to the upper lash line. Alright, so the liner is applied. That's what it's looking like. It is definitely a thicker applicator than I'm used to, and it went on pretty quick, but not as smooth as some that I'm used to. So everything is still looking great. So let's go ahead and set that down for now. Alright, so the mascara is called I think it's the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara. Yes, yeah, it says boosts and lengths on the side here, but it is the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara. All right, so here's what that looks like. Very beautiful purple packaging. Whoa. I don't know if it's supposed to be bent. Comes out kind of at a tilt. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be. We're gonna assume that is the way it's supposed to be. Just wasn't really expecting that. It's got the more rubbery bristles. So let's go ahead and apply this to our top lashes. We're gonna curl our lashes first. We have our curler. Let's curl our lashes and then apply the mascara. mascara is applied, I'll come in close. Just see if you can kind of see. Now, it might be a little difficult to see over the thicker liner there, but I do think it did help with lengthening a little bit. I don't think it kept the curl very well after curling them, but I think it applied so nicely. So yeah, nice and black, even coating. The one thing which I don't think is that nothing that bothers me, but I think it might bother some people, is that the applicator is a little scratchy. So you can definitely feel it kind of scratching a little bit against your inner lid there. But I kind of like that because then I know how close I'm getting, I guess. And I feel like I'm actually able to comb through the lashes that way, so not a problem for me, but I know that sometimes that is a little irritating to some people's eyes. But yeah, I am liking how that's looking so far. We'll most likely, when we finish up the lower lash here, try and apply another coat and see if we can build that up a little bit more. But yeah, that's pretty exciting so far. Let's go ahead and set that down, and I think we're gonna be going into the face products now. So we do have a primer. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer Matte or Mott Matte. So it is a matte primer. Let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, comes out white. It's not very thick. Okay. Feels like it's gonna be kind of silky on the skin. So I don't think I want to apply too much because I feel like I could definitely go overboard with it. So we're going to start with a very small amount. And with it being a matte one, I'm going to just focus it in the center areas of my face and then just pull the little bits of excess out. Right, we've got that applied. Now, just looking at it here, I feel like it laid down onto the skin nicely and sank in. I don't think I went overboard with it, so hopefully the foundation will sit nicely over top of it. Yeah, feel isn't just a slightly silky feel after you rub it in. It's not like pore filling or anything like that at all, so I think it's just primarily focused to be a matte primer. So that's what that's looking like. Let's go ahead and go into the foundation now. Now I picked up two different shades, but this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. It is their newer one that is the Dewy Foundation. I know that I think a little over a year ago they came out with this foundation in kind of a matte form, but I thought it'd be fun to try out their newer one, the Dewy one. So I don't know how much of a difference using a matte primer and then using a dewy foundation, how that's gonna work out, but I saw this one, got very excited. So the two shades I picked up were Rose Ivory and Shell Ivory, so I'm gonna see which one is a better match for me. When you open it up, it has a interesting little palette or spatula, like a spatula applicator. So this is the Rose Ivory. Yeah, I mean, that one's pretty good. And this is the Shell Ivory. I think they'll both work. I think I want to go towards the Shell one. I think I was originally thinking I was going to be more the Rose, but sometimes I like to avoid the more reddy tones. I know that I have red warm kind of tones in my face a little bit, but I think I want to not use that. I think I want to try the Shell one out. So I'm going to use a sponge applicator for this. We will just pull this back. Just do that. Put a couple little spatulas on my face. Okay, so that's the initial laydown of that. I love the finish of that. I'm enjoying that dewy finish that it's providing. Now I would say it's probably more of a medium coverage. I might still try to get a touch more on some of these spots right here, but the application was nice. The little spatula thing is kind of interesting. I think it can be a little bit messy, but I'm not bothered by it. I'm liking that so far. It feels pretty lightweight to the skin. You can feel that it's there. It feels like it needs to be set down a little bit, not a whole lot. But yeah, enjoying that so far. That's very exciting. Let's go ahead and put the lid on that and go back into the concealer. That was the Photo Focus concealer. And let's put that under the eyes. All right, we've got that applied. It definitely is brightening from what I can see here. I don't know how much that's going to pick up on camera for you. So it did a good job brightening. It pulled back that dewiness a little bit, but it's definitely still there. I'm loving how the face is looking so far. I think I am getting excited about this foundation already. And I've only had it on my face for maybe 5 minutes, which is really cool. But yeah, that concealer sat down really nicely with that foundation as well. I just kind of applied in the center areas. It doesn't specify if it's like a matte concealer, but from applying it, I could kind of see that it was kind of pulling that dewiness back a little bit. So I just kind of put that in the areas where I maybe wanted a little less shine from the foundation and maybe a little bit more brightening. So I think that's looking great so far. Let's go ahead and get this set down. So for setting powder, this is the product that I already had. It is the Wet n Wild, and you can't even see it on here. So let me read it off of here. It is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. Now this one is not a new one. I've had this one in my collection for a while, so I do already know how it performs, which I'll apply it to my face. So I'll just let you know how it is after the application, but I'll try to go more in depth on it at the end of the video. But just wanted to let you guys know this is not a newer one. Part of it not being a newer one is because I know it exists out there still, but I have never seen this one in stores. My very, very good friend actually hooked me up with this one because she's like, you should try out the Wet n Wild loose setting powder. I'm like, I can't find it. And so she helped me with getting one. And now still, even when I go to the stores and stuff, I never see it. So just kind of curious. It's just hiding from me, but I'm very happy that I had a friend help hook me up with this stuff. So let's go ahead, not talk about it too much here yet, and get it applied to the face. I do want to use a brush for applying this. Let's go ahead and grab this guy. This is I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correct, Sonia Kashunk. This is a brush that you can get at Target. It doesn't specify the type of brush it is, but it's just kind of a smaller face brush. I think that'll be nice for under the eyes. And for the overall face, which we won't, we'll set the overall face. This is another one from Sonia Kashunk. This is just a larger face brush, so we'll use that for all over the face. Now we're gonna go all over the face. I wanna go very light because I don't wanna get rid of the beautiful dewy face that we have, but I do wanna set things down. So I'm gonna put just a little bit in my lid here, swirl her around. We have set our face. So here's what we're looking like. Still showing a little dewy here, but I did kind of bring that down a little bit. Hopefully the dewiness will come back a little bit, but maybe even with our other products here that'll come back a little bit more. But I think that's set down pretty nicely. The one thing about the powder is that it's not very brightening, which usually under the eyes I do try to keep that area nice and bright. So I do think it kind of took that brightening away a little bit, but that's okay. But for an overall all over face powder, I think it did a pretty good job setting the face down. So let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the face products. Actually, let's quickly finish up our under eye. What do I want to do? I almost think it'd be fun to do a different color, like still use some of like the regular transitions, but maybe even we put this like pink under there. So let's try something like that. Let's find this small guy here. This will work just fine. I'm gonna take that lightest transition shade and just kind of quickly smoke that under the eye. All right, and then I want to take, I think both of these together. I really love this color here, but I don't want it too intense. So just dipping quickly back and forth between the two of them. And then I'm gonna pinch this down a little bit and focus that right at the end here. Okay, and then let's go ahead and quickly clean off this guy right here, the ColourPop E20. And I want to take this guy and dip into here and put this more on the inner part of that bottom lash line. Okay, and then using that same brush, I am just going to quickly dip back into him and just make sure that we've got the outer part here deepened to how much we want it to be deepened. There we go, we've got the bottom lash shadows on. Let's go ahead and grab that mascara again and complete the eyes. And I will go back in and see if we can build up that mascara a little bit more on the top again. Okay, take this down again. The eyes are looking complete. I am going to, when we introduce the highlighter here, probably pop something in the inner corner there, but here's what those lashes are looking like. Yeah, I'm still very impressed with those shadows and with that mascara, so very exciting. I'm liking the completed eye look here so far. So let's go ahead and finish up this face. Let's go ahead and dive into the bronzer. The bronzer is called the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer. Now this is a little shimmery, I think. I should just open it up and know for sure, I guess. And I got this in the shade 470A Ticket to Brazil. So that's what it looks like. It does look like it has a very slight gold shimmer to it. So let's go ahead and find a brush here. Just going to use an angled elf brush, angled elf blush brush, and dip on in and apply. So this is the bronzer applied. I'm not sure if you can see anything, but I am not seeing much. I'm seeing the shimmer kind of come through a little bit. There's a little bit of a glow that's coming back to the skin, but not really any color. So I don't know if maybe I got too light of a shade or if the pigment just doesn't come through. But I'm not getting that bronze that I'm really looking for. So we're gonna set this down. Maybe we'll come back and try to apply it again later. But let's go into the blush. Now, I must have like picked up some, not realizing I had some and picked up more, but they're both Color Icon, but they're in different packaging. So I have two that are in this packaging here. There is the 326B Rose Champagne and the 325B Pearlescent Pink. And then I've got one in a round one here, which is, oh, that's also Pearlescent Pink. So maybe they just changed their packaging at one point. Let's see how similar these are, but they are the same price. Regardless of packaging, they're both Color Icon. So no matter which one we use, it's the same formula, I'm pretty sure, just different packaging. I'll probably end up using the Pearlescent Pink one, but I'm just curious if there's any difference to them. I can't recall if I got these from somebody or if I ordered these, but these are open. So I don't know if I'm gonna use these ones. We're gonna just set those off to the side because I don't quite recall where I got them. So we're gonna use the one that I purchased, that I'm aware of, that I've just opened today, the Pearlescent Pink here, and use another angled blush brush, grab the other one here, and apply this to our cheeks. Now this one also has a little bit of a shimmer to it as well, similar to the bronzer. So we'll see if the color comes through as well. Okay, so there is the blush. I think the color is really nice. I might be a little too pinky for this deeper eye look that we did. It's definitely shimmery, probably a little more shimmery than I would like out of a highlighter. But the color's there, the shimmer's there. I like the color, but maybe not so much with the look that we've got going on. But here's that. And let's just go ahead and add some more shine to the face. The next product is going to be the highlighter. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade 319B Blossom Glow. There she looks opened up, super pearly looking. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna use a fan brush. We're gonna use this guy, Bella. I've used this one before, I just don't think I've ever mentioned it. Bella Pura. I've had this one for a while. Just a fan brush, and let's dive on in and apply. There is the highlighter. With everything else, it's definitely very shiny on the skin, but I do like how pearly it is. So hopefully you guys can see that. I think it did a good job as an inner corner highlight. Put a little bit on the Cupid's bow here. I think this is beautiful. Yes. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the brows before we forget. The brow product is called the Ultimate Brow Micro Brow Pencil. This. Let's go ahead and open it up. And this is in the, ooh, got the shade Soft Brown. I probably meant to grab Soft Blonde, but this is Soft Brown. It's got a spoolie. We'll see if this ends up being too dark or not. They're just, fair warning, I might make my brows too dark. Okay, and it's got a super awesome, super fine tip. That's the color. I'm gonna try to go in really light because I don't want to ruin this look, but this might be a little dark. So let's go ahead and comb through our brows here and apply. so there are the brows. They might be a touch dark, but honestly, I feel like you can go in very soft with it. And the micro tip here is very thin, and you can kind of get nice little defined little hair strokes. I do wish we would have had a gel, which was one of the products that I just could not get my hands on. It does exist, but I just could not locate it. But I think it did a nice job of quickly putting some color to the brows. I don't think we've ruined anything. If I have, if you think this is crazy, let me know. But I don't think we've ruined the look here yet. Even though they are a little bit darker than what I am used to. But let's go ahead, set that down, and go into the lips. All right, for lips we have a lip liner. This is the Wet n Wild Perfect Pout Gel Lip Liner. I got this one in the shade 651B Bare to Commit. So here's what that looks like. Put it up. Looks like that. Okay, let's go ahead and apply this to the lips. All right, that's applied. That went on so smoothly. It has such a nice creamy feel to it. This color is beautiful. I think we matched the look, our eyes here very nicely. I don't think this is a color that I have. I'm definite this isn't a color that I have in my collection. I almost think, sorry, I'm trying to fix this here a little bit. I almost think this might be one of those things like Your Lips But Better type of situations where like when I first applied it, I was like, ooh, this is so similar to my lip color. I'm excited about this so far. Okay, let's go ahead and go into the lipstick. It is a liquid lipstick called the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Cat Suit, I believe is what that says. It is a matte lipstick, and I got the color 912B Nudist Peach. And looks like that. The doe foot's a little different than what I've usually seen. It's kind of got this little shoop in it. So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and apply this to our lips. All right, that is applied. Here's how that's looking so far. I think it was a little bit lighter than the lip liner, which I really love that lip liner color, so it did change that up a little bit, but I love this color here as well. Again, it feels really nice on the lips. You can kind of start to see it matting down here, but it still kind of has a nice move to it. It's not like drying, so really liking that so far. Let's go ahead and get the look finished off here with the setting spray again. So that was the Wet n Wild Natural Finish. Oh, I was looking at the wrong side before. I'll have to make sure that's correct on my little thing here. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Natural Finish Setting Spray. Or the Thinny Natural. Aha. Natural Finish Setting Spray. Okay, let's go ahead and set the face down. And then I'm going to take my sponge because that kind of got everywhere and just kind of blot everything down. Okay, we are set. Here is what everything's looking like. So that brought back a lot of shine. It doesn't specify if it was like a matte or dewy. It just kind of says it's a setting spray. I think we brought that dewy back to the face. Whoa. But there's that, and that completes the full look. So here you guys are. Here's our full face. Let me know what you guys think. I definitely like it. I hope you guys like it. Let's go ahead and get things tidied up here and ready to talk about the products individually. Alrighty, so again, here's our full face. This total face cost us today $58.66. For a full face, we were around the close to $60 range. So I think that's super awesome. I feel that majority of the products that we used here today, I was very excited about. So I think that this is an awesome price point for Wet n Wild, so I'm very, very excited about that. So let's go into the products individually here. First, we're going to talk about that concealer. Now on the eyes, I think it did a fine job. Nothing about it really struck out to me, but I think it was a fine base, and then I think it did an okay job of concealing. It wasn't like, I don't think it had a lot of coverage to it. It definitely did a little bit of brightening. I did notice that when I went in to set my under eye there, I did see a little bit of creasing happening right away. So even with it not being super full coverage, it did also start to crease. So it's a fine one. I'm probably not gonna hang on to it for that reason, because I do have other concealers that I definitely know perform a lot better and don't crease up. But it wasn't bad, but it's not one that I see myself using on a regular basis. And next we go into the eyeshadows. Now this guy, yes, I thought this performed so well. I think all of the colors blended super well together. They all had really great pigment to them. There wasn't a lot, I don't think there was any fallout when I was applying it to my eyes. So that's super awesome and super exciting. So this guy is a definite yes for me. And then next, that takes us into the liner. Now it performed just fine. It was a bigger felt tip applicator than I'm used to, and it was super quick and super easy to apply. Similar to the concealer, I'm going to say on this one, I do have other liners that I do think perform a little bit better. I like that thinner line rather than a thicker, bold line. So still a very fine product, but I don't think I'd get a lot of use out of that one. So I am gonna set that one aside next to the concealer as well. And then we have the mascara after that. This guy right here. I'm excited about this one as well. I'm pumped about this one. I thought it did a great job with showing a little bit of length to my very tiny lashes. I like the way that the spoolie, the applicator, kind of combed through the lashes, and I think it also applied super nice on those bottom lashes as well. So this guy is a definite yes for me. And I think that takes us into the face products then next. So next would be the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Face Primer. Now I think this is one that I'm gonna have to play around with a little bit more, because it's a matte primer and then we put a bunch of more dewy things on top. I don't know how much of a chance it really got to shine. Now it wasn't anything crazy pore filling or anything like that, but I do kind of want to test out that matte performance of it with a couple of different foundations of mine and kind of see the wear on it as well. We only used a little bit. I didn't want to overboard it, and I just kind of put it in the center areas of my face. So maybe we'll try it out all over the face at some point. So for now, it's going to be one that I hang on to and compare it to some of the other ones and see what I think of it. But upon application here, I'm not seeing anything slipping or sliding around in those primer areas. So that's a benefit there. And then for the foundation, the Photo Focus Dewy Foundation, that's also going to be a yes. I got very excited putting that one on right away. I think the finish of it was beautiful. It doesn't have a full coverage. It's probably more of a medium coverage, so there are a couple places that need it to be built up a little bit. We can still kind of see them shining through a little bit, but that's not a problem at all. And the applicator was a little interesting, but overall, I think the foundation sits on the face really nicely. I don't see it settling really into any creasy areas here yet, so that's super exciting. So foundation, yes, I'm definitely keeping that one. And then next we did the powder. Yes, powder is next. This is one that I've already had on hand, as you guys knew, so I'm going to be hanging on to this one because it's one that I've already been using. Now for this one specifically, when I use it in a daily routine, I don't like to set under my eyes with it usually because it does kind of take that brightening away. It's got a little bit of a tint to it that kind of just undoes what your concealer did essentially. So I like setting the face with this. I think it does an amazing job, and I think it does a really good job when it comes to like baking underneath the cheeks here, which we didn't do today, but that's something I do a lot with this one. So yes, this is one I'm hanging on to, is a powder that I have very much enjoyed. I just, however, don't use it typically under the eyes because of the brightening and how it kind of just eliminates that. So hanging on to this guy. Next we have the bronzer. The bronzer had, I didn't see anything come out of it. I saw the shimmer come through, which I thought was pretty, but if we would have had a little bit of some color come through as well, that would have been super awesome. So maybe I just got a shade that's too light and it just kind of blended in, but I didn't get any pigment payoff from that bronzer. So this guy right here, I'm not going to hang on to because I definitely have other bronzers that perform a lot better than this guy. So this guy is going to be a no. And then that takes us into the blush. And now the ones that were already opened, I must have gotten them from a friend or something and held on to them for this video, but I'm not entirely sure. So I probably won't hang on to those just to be safe. And then the one that I did purchase, the color is nice, but it definitely has a lot more of a shine to it than I like to see from my blushes usually. So maybe I'll compare it and see if I want to hang on to it for a topper, but I don't really see myself using it very often. So it is kind of like a 50-50 item because of just how shimmery it was, and that little part of it I didn't enjoy. So yeah, it's okay, but definitely other blushes out there that I enjoy a lot more. And then the highlighter, I like this. I like this highlighter a lot. I love how pearly it looks on the face. I think it did a great job as an inner corner highlighter. So this guy is a yes, and I will definitely be hanging on to this. And then we have the lip. Oh wait, let's do the brows first because we don't want to forget about the brows. The brow product, the Ultimate Brow Micro Brow Pencil. I think I'm going to hang on to this one. Now it is a touch dark, but I might take a look and see if I can find a blonde shade. I must have just misread when I was picking this one up and probably saw soft blonde when it was actually soft brown. But I do like the micro tip applicator. I do like how when we combed through them with the spoolie, it did soften that up a little bit, which was really nice. And the dark brow is looking just it's looking fine with this look that we have going on. but I do usually prefer just a slightly more blonde brow. So we will say yes on this guy because I did enjoy the way it performed, but I will also be looking for a lighter shade as well. Then we have the lips. Yes. So for the lip liner here, the Perfect Pout Gel Lip Liner. Yes. I'm very excited about this. I thought this looked beautiful on my lips. Like I stated earlier, I believe it's kind of one of those like your lips but better kind of looks, kind of colors for me especially. So I'm probably going to be using this specific liner a lot compared to some of the other ones that I have in my collection. So yes, 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 yes to this guy right here. And then same with the color here. Now it was a little bit lighter, but I do think it still did a really great job. I think those two guys matched up pretty well, and my lips feel great. Like, they're not bugging me at all, which is very exciting, and everything set down very nicely. So again, this is also a yes for me. And then we are on to the last product, which was that setting spray. And for this guy, sorry about the scratching. A puppy's playing in the window. For this guy here, he's also a yes, I believe. It's more of a dewy look on here, and I think a lot of the ones that I have are a little bit more matte set than this guy. Joey, quiet. You're too noisy. Quiet. Okay, so this is a yes for sure. I like the dewy look that it provided here, and I think, Joey, and I think it did a really good job setting the makeup in place. So this is a definite yes. That's gonna be everything. Again, I'm very excited with how this look turned out. I'm gonna go grab my dog. I'll be right back. All right, so once again, that is the full face. I am super happy with how this makeup turned out. And yeah, I'm very excited about the price point. There were a couple products that we're not gonna hang on to, but for the price point, for the ones that we are hanging on to, I'm just super excited about it. So again, here you guys go, full face. That's gonna be everything for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. And make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of the next time that I post. And if there were any Wet n Wild products here that you did not see me put to the test, you can leave that in the description box as well. I'd love to get my hands on it for you and test it out. And if there are any other products here that you want to see put to a full wear test, leave that in the comments. Leave that in the comments down below as well. I would love to test that out and let you know how a full performance goes. And lastly, if you have a brand recommendation that you'd like me to add to my list of so many brands, go ahead and leave that in the comments box or the comments down below as well, and I would love to add it to the list and make a future video for you guys. That's gonna be everything for this video. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!